Hi, hello. Welcome to Disney's wide, oh so wide world of sports. It is the first day of our race weekend. We are here to pick up our race bibs, buy some merch, get our shirt, get some expo merch and stuff. And I'm here with Ben's mom, Ben, and my mom will meet us later. And we're ready to get this weekend started. Yay! By the way, my name's Ashley, if this is the first time that you're here. Otherwise, welcome back. So a little bit about a race weekend is you have to come to the expo the day before your race to pick up your race bib. You cannot run a race without your race bib, and you have to pick it up the day before. So today's opening day of the race, and people running the 5K have to show up today to pick up their race bib. Once you're here, there's a couple of buildings that you have to go to. So there's a building to pick up your race bib. Once you pick up the race bib, you go into another building where you exchange the top half of your race bib for the t-shirt that's included in the weekend. Or the t-shirt that's included in the price of admission, essentially. And then that's also where the merchandise is of like vendors. And then there's a third building where all the exclusive Run Disney merch is. So there's merch for each of the races and for the weekend, and then just generic Race Disney merch. So we are gonna go, I'll show you that whole process. Let's do it. So they have race weekend specific shoes. These are generic Red Disney ones. These are the Mickey's. Chip and Dale, those were released last race or 2 races ago. But these are the new ones. This is Genie. And these are the Winnie the Pooh Tigger ones. It's chaotic in here, but let me show you some of the merch. now made it into the building where you pick up your race bib. All you do is present your QR code and I think an ID, and then you get your race bib. B.
Wait a minute, wrong bib. You're not that one.
Look, I'm B.
You're what? 9, 7, 8, 9, 7. Well, I read my numbers correctly, we'll be in good shape.
Numbers are hard.
You're supposed to be looking at these things all day. 8, 9, 7. Benjamin.
Yes.
Yes.
Now.
B for Benjamin.
Oh no. Oh no. Yay! Guys, we got B. I'm so excited. So that was building 2. Now we're heading to building 3 to turn in the top half of this for our t-shirts and do some shopping. The shopping is through the different vendors that they have here at the expo. And then glitter booth. Watch out. These are the shirts. Love it. We are officially done with the Race Expo. We bought some things, talked to some friends, and now we are headed to Hollywood Studios for the afternoon until my mom arrives. And that will be a separate vlog. So I will pick this up next on 10K Day. Yay! Good morning. Welcome to 10K Day. We are here ready to run the 10K with runDisney, and it is Winnie the Pooh and Tigger themed. We are dressed appropriately. I as Pooh, Ben as Tigger. I'll show you our outfits here in a little bit better. But yeah, we're ready to run. It's nice and early. I think it's like 3:35, 3:36. And now we're gonna go wait in a corral for an hour and a half. Not before meeting characters and getting some pictures. Okay, thanks for being here. have a drunken book pun. Help me out. Woo-woo! Woo-woo! Baymax!
Please use caution. Course narrows ahead.
We're under 5K left. We're on the boardwalk, and it's a hot one. We're on this magic carpet ride at mile 4. Adventure is ending. We're doing it. Under the bar. Where those doggies?
Sorry, I was trying to get to that.
We did it! Yay!
Now, a little bit of extra fun for you all. Hey, by the way, running buses and character photos over in 7 minutes or less.
We have finished our race and are back in the car.
This hat doesn't fit in here.
No, how do you feel?
Great.
Super. I feel sweaty and hot and ready for a shower and some breakfast, which we're gonna go do. Okay. Look at that sweat. Ooh la la. Well, we're back in Chicago. It's currently Wednesday. We got back on Monday evening, super late at like 1 a.m. And I just wanted to go over and give you some of my initial thoughts about my race experience and things that I enjoyed or didn't enjoy, and just go over all of the weekend with you. I did make some notes because last time when I recapped my marathon weekend experience, I was all over the place. So to be a little more concise and make a little more sense, I made some notes. So they're down below. If I look down, that's what I'm looking at. But first and foremost, what I want to say is that I went in wanting to take it easy for this race and ended up having way more fun than I expected. First and foremost, I loved the course. The first mile and a half was on the road, and then the rest of it was through EPCOT and the boardwalk. And this was a vast departure from my experience with Marathon Weekend, which was my first runDisney experience. And that was hyped up a ton, and I was expecting so much more. And it was a letdown. I was like soured on my experience. However, with this one, we ran through EPCOT, we ran around the World Showcase, and then we ran around around the boardwalk, and then back through the top part of EPCOT. And it was a lot of fun. It was really beautiful. Watching the sunrise as we went around the boardwalk was just a really cool experience. And I overall really enjoyed the course. Like, I would do another 10K in a heartbeat. I am doing another half marathon in January for marathon weekend, and I'm hoping they change the course. I do love the idea of running through Magic Kingdom again, but overall, like, running on the street was just not it. I also really appreciated the lack of bottlenecks on this course. It was pretty open and spacious throughout, and so there wasn't a lot of times where I had to walk. I was able to run pretty much all of it. I think I ran definitely like the first 4.5 miles, and then I started doing like a run walk situation the last 1.5 miles. I'm a pretty slow runner. I'm new to running. And so that's what I was able to get done, and I feel pretty great about it. I feel pretty confident about it. The other thing that was really nice about this is I ended up getting Corral B. If you're not familiar, when you pick up your bib at the Race Expo, you're assigned a bib, and that bib has a letter on it from A to F, I think this was, or A to G, and that letter indicates what corral you're in, and then in that corral there are waves to be sent off to start your run. And we were lucky enough to be in Corral B. When we got into Corral B, I was so excited. Like, I squealed at the pickup area, and the woman the cast member who was giving our bibs was really sweet about it. And Ben got Corral B as well, so we were able to start together. And we ended up being in the second wave of Corral B. So we were pretty far into the start of the race, which was really nice. And it alleviated a lot of stress for me, and it allowed me to meet more characters, or meet the characters that I wanted to meet. And it made it so much more enjoyable. We were able to stop for a couple of characters. Right out of the gate, we ran into Piglet and Rabbit. Like, we ran past them, and we got up to them, and the line was already really long, and then we realized it, so we ran back to get into line, and we probably waited about 10 to 12 minutes to meet them. It moved pretty fast. The line did get longer and longer. By the time we were done waiting for those pictures, they were on Corral C, which is still like pretty great. We took off running, and I think we passed Jack Sparrow and Barbosa, Mad Hatter and Alice, and a couple of others. One of the cool things about this race were the costumes. There were so many good costumes. All the people were dressed up as Pooh or Tigger or Eeyore or Heffalumps and Woozles. Those were some of my favorite costumes. There were quite a few Heffalumps and Woozles, and they were very cool. It was really cool seeing everybody get into it. I know part of Run Disney is that people get dressed up, and I'm really excited about future Run Disney races and leveling up my costumes. My costume was pretty like casual for this. It was just a dress and a tank top and a hat. So I'm looking forward to getting a little more ornate with my costumes. Going back to the course, the characters we were able to meet were Rabbit and Piglet, like I said. Then we met Eeyore, and Eeyore's line moved pretty fast. It was also really long, but it moved pretty fast. I think we waited about 15 minutes. And then we met Minnie in Japan, and she had this lovely kimono on. And that was the longest line that we waited in, and that was about 20 to 25 minutes. And at that time, we knew the balloon ladies were about 45 minutes behind us. So I felt really confident to be able to wait in that line. I did want to stop for Miguel, but his line was pretty long. And then Maribel and Isabella ended up being ones where you just like took a selfie with. So I did that. And then there was someone else I wanted to meet. Who was it? I'm looking down now. Maybe that was it. But other characters that were on there were Jeannie and Abu, Carl and Russell, Doug, and I think that's it. Pain and Panic. Yeah. So those were some of the characters that were on there. We did have a list of characters that Ben got through like his race community that he's in, and it ended up being out of order, which is why we ran past or almost ran past Rabbit and Piglet. We were getting updates throughout the course of people who were ahead of us. We had a friend that was in Corral A, and so she kept texting us who was on the course ahead of us. So we knew if Ben needed to run ahead to get in line, and that was super helpful for Eeyore, and that was also really helpful for Minnie, which was really cool. Really loved that. It was a game changer for us. Also, the weather was so lovely. I was really worried that it was going to get really hot. The high was supposed to be like 84 that day, but it was really comfortable. I mean, I still sweat. I'm a sweater. I sweat so much, especially when I run. But I didn't feel overwhelmed by the heat. I was able to keep myself hydrated with salt tabs, and there were plenty of water stops, hydration stops. There was only water. There wasn't any Powerade stops, but there was plenty of hydration stops, which I definitely appreciated. And then the last thing was PhotoPass. There was a lot of PhotoPass opportunities inside EPCOT, which was really great. With the half marathon, there weren't a ton of PhotoPass opportunities, especially in Magic Kingdom, and we weren't in EPCOT very long, so we didn't get a lot of cool park pictures, but for this one, we did get a lot of park pictures, which was lovely. Some of them are really funny. Yeah, I love them. I'll maybe post a few in here, but I really enjoyed being able to capture those moments and have them forever. Things that I didn't enjoy or I thought were a bummer. Merch sold out incredibly fast at the expo. We ended up getting virtual queue boarding group, I want to say 12 or 14. So we were pretty early. If you're not familiar, to get into the Run Disney specific merch on the first day, you have to do the virtual queue, which opens up at 8:30 and then again, I think at 1 or 1:30. And so we ended up getting there pretty early. We were in the second wave of people able to enter, or the third wave, something like that. And we were able to get everything that we wanted. However, we had people go in around 2 that we knew, and things had already been sold out. A lot of the shirts, like the finisher shirts, had been sold out, and a lot of the pins and magnets had been sold out, which is a real bummer. I just don't understand it. They know exactly how many people are attending these races, and they should be able to forecast a little better, and they know what's sold historically in the past. So I don't understand why they sell out so quickly. I do understand them selling out because they don't want leftover merch, but selling out on the first day seems pretty egregious. So they could definitely do better on having merch available for at least the first couple of days. The other thing that I didn't really enjoy, while there was a lot of PhotoPass opportunities, people were not really respectful of other people's experience with PhotoPass. A lot of people would like jump in front of or just completely stop, making it impossible for your picture to be taken unless you stopped as well. So there were a couple opportunities or a couple of photos where you just see me like behind someone who had stopped. The other thing that was such a bummer, we had planned to get there early to be able to take pictures with Pooh and Tigger before the race, and then we also wanted to get pictures after the race, but both times the line were incredibly long. So we decided to forego the pre-race pictures, but we wanted to do the post-race pictures. By the time we got into the post-race pictures, and we didn't dilly-dally, like we were pretty on top of it, by the time we got into the line, they like forewarned us that we would potentially not make it to be able to take a photo. So we decided to wait in line anyways, and we were lucky enough to get into the line for photos. I think we were in the last like 10 minutes of the allotted time for photos, which is a bummer. So many people wanted to get pictures with Pooh and Tigger, and it didn't happen for them. And being the race mascots, you would think it would be a little easier. I don't understand, or I don't know how they would be more efficient with that, but it is something that was like a bummer. The other thing that also really bothered me, and the last thing that really bothered me was also something that bothered me on my half marathon experience, were the lack of toilets in the first 2 miles. You're sitting in these corrals for some people an hour, and you get out of the gate and you start running and you don't have a bathroom for the first 2 miles. And I had to pee really bad. I tried to like learn my lesson and didn't start drinking my Alani. I drink an Alani before I do a race until like 10 minutes before our corral was set to go. So I was a little more prepared, but I still had to pee really bad by the time we saw the first set of bathrooms. After that, there's plenty of bathroom stops, but that first bathroom just takes forever to get to. All in all, this was a really great experience, much better than my first race at marathon weekend. I don't know that the half marathon course is for me, but we'll see because I'm doing it again at marathon weekend. I'm also doing wine and dine, but I'm doing the 5K and the 10K again. We're doing the 5K with our moms. Ben and I are doing them with our moms, both for wine and dine and half marathon weekend. I'm officially a runDisney girly, which is so weird because I don't like running. Running is not for me, but I do like the idea of accomplishing and the feeling of accomplishing in the running. So it's a weird thing. And I love the runDisney events. I love Disney. I love being in the Disney bubble. And so I do like running, but I hate running, if that makes any sense at all. But now let me show you what I picked up at the Race Expo. Firstly, when you sign up for the race, you enter your t-shirt sizes and you get a t-shirt included in the price of admission. And this was the t-shirt this year. It has Pooh and Tigger on it and then a bunch of sponsors on the back, but it just says Springtime Surprise 10K, and it's this beautiful butter yellow color, which is like very popular right now. I love this. I will wear this on more runs in the future. Love that. A shirt that I did buy was this tank top. It has like a mesh top, and then it is like a running material, and it just says Springtime Surprise, and it has Pooh and Tigger running. I thought this was really cute, and I don't have running tank tops. I don't have a lot of running gear, so it's nice that I'm starting to collect this through the runDisney stuff. And then I picked up the metal pin. I love this little metal pin. I think it's really cute to put it on like plushie keychains or new emos as you like walk through the park. Speaking of metals, look at this. This is the medal. Tigger does move up and down, and then the honey is actually like glitter. I don't know if that'll show up, but it moves. It's a beautiful medal. I can't wait to hang it up. I love it so much. It's such a good medal. I don't know if this one is better than the Donald and Daisy one I got. Like, they're pretty well tied as far as my favorite medals. so far. It's so cute. I love it so much. Winnie the Pooh is like one of my favorite things in this world. The other thing that I bought was this hair clip. I like it. Ben's mom actually got me the goofy one before the trip, before we even went to the expo, and I like this a lot, and I saw that they had this one, so I purchased this one. And then also at the expo, we went to the BB Brook booth, and I bought this really cute hair tie. Oh no, this wasn't at BB Brook. This was at the same place that I got that hair clip, and it's just this little hair tie with all the characters on it. I thought this was really cute. I'll do like a high bun with it. But at BB Brook, what I did buy were these Goofy and Pluto magic band little guys. You pop them into the holes of the magic band. And I will use it on my Apple Watch. I just thought they were really cute. And then the last thing I purchased was this runner Winnie the Pooh sticker. I thought this was really cute. And that's all the things I got. Besides salt tabs. I bought some salt tabs for the race. Yeah, that was everything. That was my race experience. I really love these runDisney races. I did have a lot of fun with this one. It was definitely a much better experience. And I would recommend doing at least one runDisney event. The 5K is really accessible. It's not timed. It is something you can dress up for. It is 3 miles, so it seems pretty manageable. You can walk it if you want. You can do a light jog. And it's just really cool to see everyone in their costumes and then completing a goal. Something that warms my heart a lot is that everyone is there together completing the same goal. It's just such a cool thing. Like, that energy is really amazing and really infectious. Okay, well, thank you for making it this far in the vlog. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe. I would love for you to stick around. I would love to talk to you in the comments. If you also did Springtime Surprise, let me know. How was your experience? If you're doing a future race, I'd love to know which one you're doing. I'd love to know what costume you're going to do. But yeah, I will see you on the next one. Bye, friends.